where do you stand when it comes to linebacker corner with these position battles when we're looking at Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons, then you go to the cornerback position, and obviously what Maurice Kennedy has been able to do so far in camp so far. Where are you standing on those?
Man, their linebacker room is big enough to where they could unload some people. I mean, I don't know what the trade market is for, Jalen or Vander Esch or whatever, but, it is such that they could unload some people. They really could. I don't know what they're going to do there, though. Like, if you were to say, who is, obviously Mike is, they're all going to make the team. They're not cutting any of those guys. I can't imagine. That'd be a surprising cut. But, like, who are the two starters and who are the nickel starters now? Who are the two guys? Because they only played two at a time at this point, at this stage of the NFL. For the most part, they're only playing two on the field. Who are the two starters?
So I think for posterity, it's going to be Leighton Vander Esch.
Man, let me Google the word posterity.
And Jalen Smith. I think Micah Parsons and Keanu Neal are going to see quite a bit of time on the field at the linebacker spots for the Cowboys, which honestly, that's the way it should be. Parsons has demonstrated that it's not too big for him. They've thrown a lot at Parsons so far in camp, and he's responded to it very nicely. Keanu Neal starting to make some plays. We saw him force the fumble against the Arizona Cardinals. That's a Dan Quinn guy. He's got a sponsor in the room when it comes to Keanu Neal. So I think for Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, it's obviously a prove-it year for the both of them. The way that Smith has played so far in camp and the way that he has played in preseason so far, this is it for him. I don't see him being a Cowboy after the end of this year because the same problems that he has continued to have over the last couple of years, the read and react stuff, the lack of lateral movement, he looks like he is running in quicksand. And again, that's physical limitations that he has as a player, but I don't see how you can continue to go down that road with him after this year, and you got to move on. I think from Jalen Smith after the end of this year.
Well, and I want to give Jalen. I have the same kind of take with Jalen that I will with KP. At what point did the coaching hurt him? The Mavs keep saying they just did. KP did what we asked him to do, just stand there and shoot. How much of Mike Nolan destroyed Jalen Smith? Put him in spots to not be able to succeed. We were saying this before
Mike Nolan got here last year.
He was good the year before, though.
Like 2018, he was good, yeah.
Yeah, really good.
So what happened in 19? We started to see some of this stuff start to pop up for Jalen Smith.
This
is before Mike Nolan got here.
Yeah, look, Mike Nolan did him no favors. It may have been a little bit before Nolan got here, too, that he was starting to. But, 2018 happened.
Yeah.
It definitely happened. And guys have down years. It happens. Last year was really, really bad from Jalen. And I just wonder, how much of their scheme where they had basically defensive linemen getting completely lost, and then Jalen being, as Nate Newton told Shan and I out at camp, I know, right? He spent the entire year thinking and not playing because he didn't know what to do because he didn't grasp what they were trying to ask him to do, or it was just it didn't make sense to him. How about that? So I want to give him. I want to see what he can do.
I want to see what Dan Quinn can do for him and maybe put him in some better positions to succeed. But there aren't a lot of things that Jalen Smith does well on a football field that would justify him keeping him on the field as much as he's getting paid to be a starting linebacker on this Cowboys football team. Because the way that Parsons and Neal are playing right now, those guys need to be on the field. Leighton Vander Esch is in kind of a similar spot. Can he get back to some of the form that he was a couple of years ago? Granted, he stays healthy and being a productive player on the defensive side. So that to me is what has to be answered throughout the season to give me any kind of confidence that Jalen Smith comes back as a Dallas Cowboy at the end of this year.
Autoflex Leasing fan text 877-881-1053. Jalen was fine last year as well. Mike Nolan oversaw Ray Lewis's best 2 seasons ever. Yeah, they also had an amazing defensive line.
And Jalen Smith was not good last year. Like from the 4.69, Jalen was fine last year. No, he was not good last year.
I think he was not great.
He was productive, but unproductive at the same time.
Yeah, I think the narrative of Jalen Smith that he was bad, I think is a bad one. I don't think he was bad last year. I don't think he was good. But I don't think there's you don't have to go from one extreme to the other. I would not put him in the good category. Definitely not. I would probably not put him in the bad. I don't think he was as bad as everybody says. But he definitely had a lot of things that were going on with him last year that he did not do well. And in terms of the Ray Lewis thing, they also had an amazing defensive line that could play
Correct.
Nolan's type of gaps that he wanted to do. And the Cowboys didn't. And that allowed everybody to get to Jalen Smith and blow him up. So that's a big one. And as far as corner goes, hope and pray.
Kennedy, I think, should be your starting slot corner.
I agree.
I think he's proven and he's earned the job to be able to be your starting slot corner because I don't have any confidence right now that going into week 1, you should start Nashawn Wright or Kelvin Joseph over Anthony Brown. As much as I don't want to see Anthony Brown necessarily being the starting corner opposite of Trevon Diggs, I think you have to go into week 1 with your veteran as your starting opposite corner of Trevon Diggs at this point. And hopefully Joseph continues to earn the ability to be the starter as the season goes on. But yeah, right now I'm not starting Kelvin Joseph over Anthony Brown at this point based on what we've seen so far. He's getting better in camp, but I think Anthony Brown goes into the season.
I want to start Nashawn immediately.
Oh no, that's hustling backwards. I like Nashawn. He's been good. He's been good in camp.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Nashawn Wright on the field week 1 taking on Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. That is a no-go. That's a hard stop for me. Maybe he can earn it as the season goes on, but week 1, oh no. Tom Brady would carve that up all day long, at least from my vantage point.